Welcome to Style and Confidence, where transformative coaching meets personal styling for business success. I'm your host, Claire Silk, a transformative life coach and a personal stylist, passionate about helping women like you align your inner worth with your outer expression. Each week, we explore how to build lasting confidence from the inside out, so you can show up as your most authentic, empowered self. Whether you're looking to break through limiting beliefs, build authentic confidence and a winning mindset, or create a wardrobe that truly empowers you, you are in the right place. Get ready to transform your relationship with both your mind and your style. Welcome back to the Style and Confidence podcast and the second part of my Silk Method mini-series. If you missed the first part, head back to episode 30. The Silk Method is my signature framework that I take my clients through to help them become bold, visible and confident so they can create the business and life they dream of without self-doubt holding them back. I'm Claire Silk, and if you listened to last week's episode on self-belief, you'll hopefully have started rewiring your unhelpful inner dialogue. Today, we're moving on to step 2 of the Silk Method, inner strength. Confidence isn't about never feeling fear, but rather it's about building resilience so you keep going even when fear shows up. And if you've ever found yourself saying, I'll do it when I feel more confident, or when I'm ready, or I'm just waiting for the right time, then this episode is going to help you. So many people, me included, are held back by putting something off because they don't feel ready yet. But will you ever feel 100% ready? The first time I delivered a webinar, someone asked me to, and whilst the thought terrified me, I went by the mantra, say yes and work it out later. It served me well. I delivered my first webinar, people found it helpful, and I received positive feedback. Now, I feel much happier about webinars, although I do still feel nervous beforehand, and I'm not the only one. I've worked with women at all levels, from C-suite executives to women new into their first leadership role, award-winning entrepreneurs and amazing stay-at-home mums. All were women who seemed to have it all figured out. And guess what? They all felt scared before they made a change, stepped up to their next level or into their next chapter. The difference between them and everyone else is that they didn't wait for the fear to go away. Instead, they built their inner strength, stepped out of their comfort zone and did the thing. You might know this already. I was listening to an interview with Adele after her appearance at Glastonbury. She was saying how incredibly nervous she was before the event. She had major imposter syndrome and was telling her team that she would have to pull out. She couldn't go through with Glastonbury. When it came to it, she drove to Glastonbury on her own, in her own car, in floods of tears, scared silly about what she was about to do. She got there, got on stage, and the rest is history. All we saw was Adele giving another awe-inspiring performance. It is so hard to believe that Adele felt like that about singing, which we know she's amazing at. That day, Adele moved out of her comfort zone, probably for the millionth time, and she did something that she didn't yet feel ready to do. But she got on with it. If she can find that courage, so can you. And I'll bet moving out of your comfort zone doesn't involve standing on a stage in front of thousands of people in a field and also streamed to millions on television. Think of inner strength like going to the gym. You don't walk in on day one expecting to lift heavy weights without probably hurting yourself. You start small, you build up the weight, you lift gradually. And eventually, what once felt impossible becomes your warm-up. And you can lift much heavier weights. Fear works in the same way, which brings me nicely to my second point. Fear is a sign that you're expanding, not failing. I want you to completely turn around how you think about fear. When you feel that flutter in your stomach, when your heart's racing before a big presentation, when you're second guessing whether to press publish on a post, it's not a warning sign to retreat. It's your internal GPS, your instinct, telling you that you're heading towards growth. Fear shows up at the edge of your comfort zone. It's literally your nervous system's response to new territory. It's the way we're wired. The problem is, we've been conditioned to think that fear means danger, so we retreat. If you're standing in front of a bear, then the fear is real, But in the context of career and personal growth, visibility and building your brand, fear usually means you're about to level up. I started reframing fear for my clients this way. Instead of, I'm scared, so I shouldn't or I won't do this, we practice, I'm scared, which means this matters to me and has the potential to create the change I want. Remember my webinars? I now reframe the nervous energy as excitement and tell myself that I'm really excited about delivering it because I get to share what I love with other people. Now I want to talk about micro habits that build resilience day by day. Resilience isn't built overnight. It is built in small, consistent actions that prove to yourself you can handle discomfort. Every time you speak up in a meeting, when you're convinced that what you have to say is of no value, every time you share your opinion, even when you're worried others might disagree, every time you show up as yourself instead of who you think other people want you to be, you are making a deposit into your resilience account. I like to think of this as controlled discomfort. It's like exposure therapy for confidence. You deliberately put yourself in a safe but slightly uncomfortable situation so that when bigger opportunities come along, you've already proven to yourself that you can handle being seen, being judged, and being imperfect. The key is starting small. If posting on LinkedIn feels terrifying, start by commenting thoughtfully on other people's posts. If public speaking makes you want to hide under a desk, start by speaking up more in team meetings. If networking makes you feel queasy, start by introducing yourself to one new person at each event, or go with someone you know. Make it easy. The exercise I have for you today is the visibility ladder. I want you to think, write them down if you can, of 3 visibility actions. A small action, something that is slightly outside of your comfort zone, but manageable. Maybe commenting thoughtfully on 3 LinkedIn posts in your industry this week. And a medium action, something that makes you a bit nervous but feels doable. Maybe posting your own content, sharing an insight from your work, or sending a DM to a potential client. And then a bold action, something that genuinely scares you but would create actual meaningful visibility. Something like hosting a LinkedIn Live, applying to a speaking event, or pitching to a podcast to be a guest. Now commit to just one this week, only one. The goal isn't to conquer all your fears all at once, but rather to prove to yourself that you can feel afraid, acknowledge it with grace, and have the courage to do it anyway. So, as we get to the end of this episode, let's recap. Inner strength isn't about being fearless. It's about showing up anyway. Resilience is built in small steps, one uncomfortable action at a time. Every time you choose courage over comfort, you are not only taking one step forward, you are rewiring your brain to see yourself as someone who rises to challenges. This builds self-trust and confidence. Inside Confidently You, my new digital program, we dive into building your resilience with specific frameworks for reframing fear, daily practices that build your comfort with visibility, and a support system that celebrates your courage, even when things don't go perfectly. I'll leave the link in the show notes for you to find out more. Next week, we're exploring step 3 of the Silk Method, leadership presence. Because how you carry yourself influences how you feel and how others perceive you. We'll cover the science of body language, the power of your voice, and simple adjustments that instantly make you feel and look more confident. And remember, courage isn't the absence of fear. It is feeling afraid and showing up anyway. You've got this. Thank you for listening to Style and Confidence, where style meets confidence for business success. If you have enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend, rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss out on our weekly confidence-building conversations. You can also connect with me over on LinkedIn as Claire Silk or on Instagram at Silk Style and Confidence for more style and mindset tips. Until next time, remember, true confidence comes from within. Style helps it shine.